Well, it's getting dark, but I did get the cap on the back here. All I have left now to do is put the front lever on. I didn't bother doing anything with the other spool valve assembly. I can change that one out without having to take the valve out, I'm pretty sure. So I'll leave that one be for now because I'm trying to get the machine up and running for tomorrow. So all I got left now is I got to put together the relief valve, put it in, and try and set the relief valve. Good news is I was able to get a quad seal for the relief valve. Bad news is they didn't have any of the crush washers, so I'm gonna have to reuse these crush washers. Well, reassembly of the relief valve is pretty straightforward. Drop the ball in. This thing goes in with the cup facing down. Oh, it gets stuck there. Guess I should lube that seal. Okay, now that I have the spring in there, now I can put the big screw in. This goes in with that part facing down to lock into the top of the screw. So I know that goes in 8 full turns to start. Well, this camera's probably not picking anything up in this light, but I just got the bracket back on here that supports the control lever. I've got to put the pin and the cotter pin back in, and then that'll be hooked up. But I think what I'm going to do, it's so dark, I also don't have the bracket on over here, but I should be able to start it now and just see whether or not I've done anything to improve my problem over here with the loader. Curious to see, especially since I'm kind of running blind literally and figuratively in regards to the setting of that pressure relief valve. Alright, I just threw the cotter pin in there right now. Tomorrow when it's daylight I'll get my needle nose pliers and bend it into position. So right now I'm just gonna clear my tools off so I can start it. Alright, it's cold. Hopefully there's enough juice left in the battery to start it. I'm going to bother cranking it without putting the heater on first. Alright, let's see. Run for a second. Right now it's circulating some oil through the valve. Give it a little bit of time to run the oil through the return line and back. I want to keep the RPMs down. My initial test here. Alright, motor up. Still getting the vibration. Not getting the noise right now, but that's because I got the RPM so low. So for the moment, it looks like no difference. Running the loader all the way up to the top. I don't know if you can see anything on this camera. This camera doesn't have very good low light sensitivity. Okay, that noise you heard there was it reached all the way to the top. That's all the way down. Okay, so now I'm going to give it some RPMs and see what it sounds like. Same exact thing. Same exact horrible noise, and still seems like it's slow. Alright. But, as long as we don't have any leaks, no leaks around the front there, let's check the other side. Alright. I don't see any leaks here on the relief valve area. And I don't see any leaks back to the spool there, so I'm back to where I was before I took this whole thing apart. But at least that means I can use it tomorrow, just use it the way it's been working. Not well, but I could also try and tweak that relief valve setting, but I really don't want to mess with that until I've got a gauge hooked on here properly. There is also a noise coming out of the hydraulic pump. I'll see if I get the camera right up to it. You might be able to hear it over the engine noise. See if it's loud on the other side. And that's definitely coming out of the pump. I don't like the sound of that pump. This is the line I was talking about that almost looks like it's caved in. Right here. Raise the loader to show you. So this is the where's that line? This is the supply line. This is the return line. This big one up here. This is the supply line that goes to the pump. Right there it's flattened out. Right there it's got a big kink in it, flattened out. And right there it's flattened out. Heck, that line's really flat. I bet you that's my problem right there. There's going to be a severe restriction in my supply line to the pump. That could cause cavitation and all kinds of other weird shit. Alright? Oh, excuse me. Oh man. I just shut it down. Curious to see if this hose returns back to a rounder shape as it shuts off and doesn't. Well, this hose is very hard. That's what she said. But I'm gonna have to replace that line. It looks expensive.